All right, everyone. I know we're just 2 weekends removed from the Super Bowl, but we are in hot stove season for fantasy football. Underdog and some other sites have their early best ball stuff up already. Um, Today we're going to be drafting a couple of the little board tournaments, just the little one, $3 entries. Decided on this channel for sports stuff. I want to do a couple things. I want to do some fantasy content mostly, and probably 100% football, and do some more sports gaming stuff like franchise modes, etc. But fantasy wise, it's a busy time for dynasty teams. Not only are orphan teams up for sale, which I've bought in a few of them, and the obviously the rookie drafts will be coming up after the NFL draft in April. But one of the sites I use, and I bought a bunch of orphans on, the roster cut downs are at the end of March. So I'm kind of in the process of doing trades and a lot of off-season activity to cut the rosters down. Obviously, underdogs here, format best ball. Gonna get into the little board. We'll try to do maybe one or two drafts on this video. We'll see how it goes. And first time doing anything like this, so we'll have to work out any technical issues we might have. You'll have 30 seconds per pick. I do a lot of slow drafts normally, especially on Underdog. Last year I did all slow drafts, but this will be a little different with the 30-second timer, so it'll be an actual draft, as opposed to the 8-hour time window to make your pick. I got a bunch of baseballs going that are on the slow timers. I don't think notifications will come through or anything on those once. But these drafts should take maybe 20 minutes a draft or so. I'll probably do some entries in the big board as well, but for my first video, I just wanted to try doing this to test everything out and see how. So let's hop in and do the 30 seconds per pick. Some other stuff quickly to look forward to. I'll be doing some maybe rankings videos, discussion videos to do with fantasy. We'll see what kind of content I come up with. I know rankings videos and stuff are kind of generic, but maybe we'll just do a quick video where we talk about some of the rookies for the dynasty drafts. And I really do like the dynasty format, so a lot of my content will be focused around that. But just started doing the best ball stuff a little more. Best ball is good for now because it's so early in the year that you pick your team and then you don't have to set your lineups or anything. It just automatically does everything for you for the course of the season. Come on, 30-second pick timers. We're in the draft. Is filled. Oh, it looks like we're waiting for one person for this to fire. So yeah, in the comments below this video, let me know A, how the teams grade out, how you think the teams look, and B, what kind of content you might want to see for me for this channel, or what might be helpful to you all as fantasy players. Obviously, I don't have a website or anything yet, like all these other people do with rankings and all that. So maybe one day I will, or I've been watching a ton of podcasts. I don't have a podcast or anything. It's just me flying by solo for now. Some good topics I can still discuss and relay my thoughts to you guys. Right, so the draft is filled, and looks like we're picking pretty late. We're picking 10th. Most of my drafts so far have been like 11th, so we're still in the back end of the draft here. We got our grid here we can pull up. And this format obviously is half PPR, normal scoring otherwise, and then 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 1 flex, 1 tight end, 1 QB, and a bunch of bench players. I think, yeah, no, this is about the same as pretty much a standard across the board for format wise. Usually, I see some with two receivers, 2 flex instead. The other site I use a lot is PFFC, which I do most of my dynasty teams and stuff all on that. So picking around 10th. I don't have any custom rankings or anything imported yet. I'm just going off ADP, just trying to grab value here where we can. PG's on the clock with the first pick. Should be a pretty obvious chase, unless he wants to go running back, because running backs can be scarce. Barkley, which he does, so Barkley coming off first. Not a horrible selection, but I would probably take Chase in the majority of my number 1 spots. Again, running backs will tend to go quick, just because there's not a lot of great ones, and some of the value you get later on in the draft, the running backs really thin out very fast. No tight end premium or anything here. The other site I use, the PFFC, is heavy on the tight end premium, so my strategy would be a little different for this this draft on Underdog as opposed to the ones I've been doing there. Got Bijan off the board, 3rd, pretty standard. Gibbs and Jefferson, still pretty standard. I mean, we're gonna be looking at like Amon-Ra, Collins, Neighbors, Thomas area. I've ended up with Collins and Amon-Ra together in a couple drafts. I might pivot away from them. Important with best ball to kind of build a portfolio. So Brian Thomas went off pretty early at number 6. Lamb and Puka, I would definitely take those 2 ahead of Thomas. We're on the clock here, so Collins goes. So we got Amon-Ra, or we got Neighbors. Not thinking any of these running backs over those 2 receivers. So I think I'm going to actually take Neighbors because I got Amon-Ra in some other leagues. Amon-Ra's safer, but if Neighbors can get a quarterback, he could be just top 3 elite status. So we'll take Neighbors. And Amon-Ra comes off next. Pretty standard. Brian Thomas went pretty early. He's someone you could probably nab at the end of the first round. I like Drake London a lot too. I haven't really ended up with London at all yet. There's Genty. So now might be time to look at a running back, because we went all pretty receiver heady, or we could go with Brock Bowers. Where Bowers is again not a tight end format. We got our best receiver is definitely probably McConkey. I'm not a McCaffrey guy. A-Chain is okay. Henry is okay. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna take Henry here over A-Chain. A-Chain's got a bigger injury risk, and I think he has a bigger chance of missing or having a lower floor than Henry does. Henry's just a pretty safe bet. A-Chain is next, then McCaffrey and Wilson. I can actually zoom in a little more here. That might be better for you. Like, I'm still playing with the settings and all that. Wilson ahead of McConkey is like insane travesty. Wilson should not be up here in the middle of the second round. Finally, Bowers comes out in FFPC drafts. Bowers is like a top 5 pick because of the tight end premium. We got Neighbors and Henry though so far. Not bad. The only thing here that it doesn't show is your bye week. Can't click on the players, which is a little annoying. Hmm. You don't really need to worry about buys too much with best ball, but you don't want to draft six your top receivers all with the same week off, and you won't get any points. They had Bowers, Bucky. I love Bucky. I love Taylor as well. Jacobs is okay. Jamar Chase, Josh Jacobs is a nice, safe combo. Saquon drafter took Tyreek Hill and McLaurin, a little riskier there. I'm not a big Hill guy. Maybe the NFL schedule isn't out yet for next year. That's probably why they don't have the bye weeks on here. Brees Hall is someone I like in the one PPR formats. Here's a half point, so not quite as good. No quarterbacks taken yet. McBride would be an interesting one if he falls. Tight ends are pretty scarce and pretty top heavy. Chase Brown I like. Higgins I like. Looks like Higgins is going to stay in Cincinnati now. He goes forward right after DJ Moore. I do like me some Kyron and James Cook as well. And again, running backs are already getting pretty thin. Once you get to this Joe Mixon, Chuba Hubbard, once you get past this tier here, it drops off pretty fast. And again, almost 20 receivers taken already too. So there goes Brown, and there goes Harrison, and then McBride right before us. So now we're in the range where best value might be a quarterback, but I haven't been going quarterback early. Kyron is gone. He was someone I probably would have taken. So James Cook, Mike Evans is probably the play here. I like him better than Worthy. I like these guys, this Devonta Smith and Jamison Williams. But with the running back scarcity, I'll take James Cook here, though. Although he's putting up a little protest. See, I think that's a solid pick there. We got two solid backs and an elite receiver. Coming back to around us soon here. We got Devonta Smith off next. Maybe Jamison Williams here if he falls. Or possibly Zay Flowers. So there's Lamar ahead of Josh Allen, which Josh Allen is number one in my opinion. So there's Flowers and there's Hurts. So we could go Josh Allen here. Don't want Mixon or Hubbard. Or we could go Mike Evans. This is pretty late for Evans, although he has to fall off at some point, right? I mean, Allen is just elite in value with the third quarterback off the board. I'll go against my normal strategy and take an early quarterback here. At least it's in the fourth round and not the third, so I feel a little bit better about that. Yeah, Evans off next. Evans was a good value there too, for sure. This is actually my first football I've done this year on Underdog, so still feeling out their ADP and all that sort of stuff. In some future drafts, I think I might go off some different rankings and try to stick to other strategies and stuff. Obviously, with best ball, it is wise to stack. So if I could get a Bills receiver to go with Allen, obviously I got James Cook and Allen there, so that's a little bit of a stack. Not directly correlated between quarterback, receiver, tight end, but maybe we end up with Dalton Kincaid later. And probably want no part of whoever the Giants quarterback will be to go with Neighbors, but it'll probably be maybe Shador Sanders or someone. So Mixon, Kamara, I wouldn't say they're necessarily a value in the fourth, maybe a little bit. Mixon tends to have good years and bad years. Um, Out of all these picks here, the best one I like is probably Jameson Williams. Chuba Hubbard is going to have a regression, I think. He'll still be pretty good though. He had a really good year. Same with Kamara. Kamara will probably be a ball hog. Not a fan of what this guy drafting first is doing, because he went a bunch of risky receivers, including Hill, McLaurin, Rashee Rice, who might not even play, and Tet McMillan. There goes Burrow. So Burrow in the beginning of the fifth is a lot worse than Josh Allen at the beginning of the fourth. That's my opinion. I'm happy we got the Allen as the third quarterback. Is kind of really it is a steal, but we'll see how it plays out. Now we're in the really kind of getting towards the lower range, mid range receivers. I think receivers are pretty deep. So we're in the mid range. Marion Hampton would be an interesting pick. I ended up with David Montgomery in a good bit of drafts already. James Conner I like a lot higher than running back 23, more like running back 15. So maybe I go with Conner. Or George Kittle sitting out there too, plus Laporta. Kenneth Walker was my favorite of these kind of mid-pack running backs, definitely. He's a stud when he can stay healthy. Love Jordan Addison as well, although he's a little more risky. Waddle is still kind of risky, but good value there in the as pick 55. Again, Kittle comes off right before us, so this drafter has both McBride and Kittle. Could look to go Laporta here. We do need receiver help. Let's see what this pick is. If you guys see anything different, of course, while you're watching, feel free to comment. You know what you would have done. Olave's off. Not a fan of Olave. So we could go Sutton here. We could go Pickens, which is more risky. Hampton, Laporta. I do like Judy and Godwin both a lot. But I think we'll go Cortland Sutton here. We could go Laporta. Let's go Cortland Sutton. All right, so we got Allen, Henry, Cook, Malik Neighbors, and Cortland Sutton. Then again, went Pickens, Hampton, and Travion Henderson back to back, and he has Genty, so he's got all rookie backs. A little bit of a shaky team, trying to Laporta right before us, so we're getting sandwiched by the tight ends here. Probably go receiver or back here then, since we don't have our tight end option. Hawkinson is down further, so we could take Judy or Godwin. Hopefully Godwin recovers from his injury, or David Montgomery. You know, I'm actually going to take James Conner here. I think he's a really good value in the 6th round. He's more like my running back 15 or 16. Probably I would put Conner and Walker in the same group as Mixon and Kamara. I think I have Kamara a little lower than normal, and Hubbard maybe a little lower, and basically bump up Conner and Walker. I definitely have both those guys ahead of Marion Hampton and Travion Henderson. So pretty happy how we're looking running back wise. We got a solid 3. Receiver wise, we got a solid 2, and then of course the quarterback. So now I'll have to come back probably with receivers and tight ends in the next round here and see what's out there. Maybe Hawkinson, he's around, or again, not a tight end heavy format. So Jalen McMillan is someone to watch out for this year. If Godwin ends up back at Tampa Bay, though, that really hurts his value. So I have to see. I've got McMillan in a few dynasty teams, so he's one of my targets this year. I wish the picks were a minute long instead of 30 seconds, just for the sake of analysis and all that. But 30 seconds, we're just barely getting our picks in. I feel like this has been a really strong value draft so far, though. Mahomes coming off in the 6th. I don't know about Mahomes. He's kind of once you get through Burrow, the top 5 QBs. Mahomes is. I think I would group Mahomes in with the next tier of quarterbacks, which is basically, I mean, Mahomes, Knicks, Mayfield, Goff, Murray, Williams, Purdy, Love, Herbert. They're all kind of grouped together, and I think Mahomes is in that group. He's at the top of that group for sure, but maybe in the 6th round, I wouldn't necessarily target Mahomes. I would wait. You could probably wait 2 or 3 rounds later and get somebody like one person I've ended up in a lot of my other best balls, which are both super flex and regular, Brock Purdy. I think he dropped to like quarterback 20th in one of the drafts I was in, so at that point I had to take him. And one of my other super flexes, I reached in the 2nd round and took Baker Mayfield with the 11th pick. Whoops. We're actually on the clock here. I accidentally clicked out. Shakir, which we would have gotten. Again, Hawkinson right before us, so we're getting really tight end screwed. I'm gonna go. I don't like Mark Andrews here. Judkins. Let's go with Emeka Ibuka. Receivers are really going off the board now. And he's our 3rd receiver, so we're pretty receiver light at this point. There goes Andrews. I'm not loving our receiving core. Here goes Goff. I'm probably going to go another receiver here, although these backs are decent. Aaron Jones is a good value there. Receiver-wise, Golden. I mean, I like Darnell Mooney. We're going to take a chance here. We're going to take Darnell Mooney. I think he's really underrated. And as a 4th receiver, I think he's solid. Probably could even be better than Ibuka. But if Emeka goes into the right offense, he's going to be pretty dangerous as a slot guy. See him going to Houston, I think he would pretty much dominate. He's definitely my receiver 2 in the class ahead of Burden. I think Burden is a little overrated. And Ibuka is underrated. They're different types of players, though. That's for sure. Yeah, receivers went really, really fast. Which is okay. We got really good backs. So now this is the group where the quarterbacks. So where if you wait on Mahomes here at 72, you can instead get. I mean, he could be getting Kyler Murray or Purdy there and get some, another value running back or something there. So it looks like running backs went top heavy in the first 2 rounds and then really slowed down, and then from there, rounds 3 and up has just been loaded with receivers. That's good to know for future drafts. Still didn't grab that tight end. I was waiting. I didn't want Andrew, so I was waiting kind of for Jonnu. But I do. Number 8 is too high for Warren. I do like Njoku a lot too. He's just always hurt. So might be targeting Njoku here. There's still a couple decent backs out there, some good value. I mean, receiver-wise, again, I'd probably be looking at, Cooper Kupp. Hate to say it. So, yeah, and here, the receivers have gone off a lot faster than in the FPC drafts because you can use the 2 flex spots and 2 receivers instead of the 3 receivers. And one flex. We pretty much will be set on running back for a little bit. Pacheco Stevenson is a good combo there. Stevenson is a very risky pick. He could get a rejuvenation with the new coaching staff there in New England, or he could just be in the doghouse again like he was last year. Tyler Warren came out, so we're gonna get sandwiched again. Tight end here, maybe. There goes Cup. I think the play here for me would be Njoku if he's available. Yes, he is. I will take Njoku here. And we'll try to pair him with Kincaid maybe because we got Josh Allen. If we wait till the next the 11th round, Kincaid might still be there. Probably will be. I think now I'm going to be looking at probably another receiver or a running back. There goes ETN. ETN's an interesting pick. He could have a much better year this year, or he could also do nothing. I feel like I like Bateman a lot. He's a good best ball play because he has his one or two huge games. Diggs is another tough one, and Diggs might end up in New England, which I don't really want to see as a Patriots fan, but we'll see. I would rather trade for DK Metcalf or someone. Staying away from quarterbacks here for now. I do like Najee Harris more than a lot of people do. So who went there? Was Charbonnet. That's a pick. We have Josh Allen, so let's actually go with Keon Coleman. Disappointing rookie year, but maybe he can get going here. So that was strictly, he was the best receiver left, plus we have Allen, so it's part of the stack. We got Cook, Allen, and Coleman from the Bills. Probably try to add Kincaid, like I said. In the comments, once at the end we review the team, feel free to leave a grade on how we're looking. I will try to grade the team as well, and of course, when the draft is over, it'll show the projections of what players are projected to get, based against everyone. Yeah, so this draft we're in about 28 minutes in now, so we'll do 2 drafts in one video, and we'll call it here. I want to try to do draft videos. I want to be like an hour long. The thing that is a little annoying is that Dynasty leagues, most of the drafts are slow drafts, so can't really do a draft video content on it. But I would like to, because I think Dynasty is by far the best format of fantasy. But I think most of the video draft content will have to be best ball and then standard leagues once we get maybe a little closer the year. We'll see what fits in budget wise. What I want to do, because I've set money aside every month for stuff. See. Now the draft's slowing down a little bit as we get to the midpoint. So a bunch of running backs coming off in the 10th. Robinson, who's okay. Scadaboo's an interesting one. Any of the rookies to me are definitely risky, whether that's receivers or running backs, and you're kind of just taking a flyer on one if you have to. So there goes Kraft and Kelsey. That means we got, Goddard is in front of Kincaid is ranked 13th here. I would rank Kincaid more like 10th. or 11th. I also do like Isaiah Likely a lot. And we're getting to the point where we might want to consider a second quarterback. Although I think we can wait because we do have Allen, and Allen is so dominant in fantasy. Ty J. Spears would be a good target to go after. I do like Devin Neal a lot too, as far as the rookies go. Receiver wise, staying away from Travis Hunter. I don't think he's going to play receiver. Kirk at wide receiver 61 is interesting. Same with Hollywood, Johnson, Daubs. These are all just kind of value plays. Tillman at 67 is a real good value. But hey, once you get into the 70, I mean, Thielen in the 70s plus is a insanely good value. He's got 1 or 2 more years left in him. But we just care about next year. So this guy in second, unfortunately, took Kincaid. He went Tucker Kraft, Kincaid back to back. We don't get to pair him with Allen. So here we're probably looking at best value now at this point. But we'll want at least probably 2 more tight ends, 2 more quarterbacks, or maybe 1. Yeah, 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends, and just fill in the rest with backs and receivers. Normally you want like 5 or 6 backs and like 7 or 8 receivers. But you can that's what's cool about best ball is you can kind of customize and create your roster to however you need. Like I feel my receivers are definitely the weakest position now, so maybe this draft we just go receiver heavy. Try to hit on someone on the back end, hit on a rookie or something. There goes Goddard as well, Spears, like I was looking at, Lawrence, Keenan Allen, Stroud. I mean, this guy has Williams, Herbert, and Stroud. He's got 3 QBs, which is a little insane. Me, anyways. I mean, who are Trey Harris or Devin Neal would be interesting. So he just took Penix. Quarterbacks are going fast. I do like Isaiah Likely too as a second tight end. Colston Loveland. I mean, Ferguson is there's some value plays at tight end still. Let's go Isaiah Likely here. Not Kincaid, but someone who I think is a pretty big sleeper. Underdog needs to refresh my location. So Trey Harris, Christian Kirk, Travis Hunter. Trey Harris and Hunter wanted to stay away from those rookies. We got 2 tight ends now. Devin Neal would be an interesting one, or I think Tua to go with Josh Allen would be a cool one. Dowdle at running back 41 too seems insane. Hollywood Brown. Devin Neal, I don't know. Rookies are tough. So I'm thinking Dowdle here. Dowdle will be a good value. So it looks like we got 1 QB, 4 backs, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 receivers. So backs we might be done on even. Maybe 1 more. Depends. But at this point, once you get to rounds 9 and 10, you just kind of go out best value and try to hit your stacks and whatnot. But yeah, I think Dowdle in the 12th round is a perfectly fine pick. I think Rashid White in the 12th is a perfectly fine pick too. He's still got some life left in him. This guy took his 4th quarterback. He took Bryce Young. So he's got Caleb Williams, Herbert, Stroud, Bryce Young, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bucky Irving. 2 fantastic running backs, by the way. DJ Moore, Odunze, Devontae Adams, McMillan, Pearsall, Tyler Warren. Team's not bad. It's just you don't need 4 freaking quarterbacks. Like 3 at the most for this format. Super flex, maybe you want 4. Maybe you want to block some guys from getting a quarterback. But So Colson Loveland, I think, is a good value in the 12th. Same with Pitts and Ferguson. But still like both Kincaid and Likely in the 11th. Goddard, I'm not sure on. Goddard is a little more risky. I'm hoping Kincaid has a bounce back year. My big dynasty startup draft last year, I took Kincaid in the 3rd round. I was pick number 12. My first picks were Jamar Chase, Anthony Richardson, Kincaid. And both Kincaid and Richardson are huge busts. It was a super flex. So now my quarterbacks are Bryce Young and Will Levis. But luckily I got a top 4 draft pick, so I could hopefully get Cam Ward or Shador. But I also have got Kincaid and Freiermuth for tight end, and Freiermuth spent most of the year starting for me over Kincaid. But we went 3-10 in that league in our first season, so not great. We went 3-10 and still ended up with the 4th pick just because we tanked a little too much. JJ McCarthy is an interesting pick too. He's going really high in some drafts, especially on FFPC, and he hasn't played it down yet, so he has a lot to prove. So very risky selection. Oh, we're on the board. Tillman went off right before us, which would have been a good one. I like Fields. Since we have Cook, we're gonna take his handcuff and take Ray Davis. We got 5 backs, so we're pretty set at running back now. That's a good handcuff to have at that point. Jalen Wright is a good pick too. I think we'll see more of Wright this year and less of A-Chain. So now you really need a receiver. Quarterback is interesting too. I'd rather wait and just get like Geno Smith, Stafford later on. So we go to receiver. I mean, Dontavian Wicks, Thielen, I'm looking at here. This went Fields. Yeah, I love Fields this year. I think Fields is going to be a starter, probably with the Jets. Fields is just a fantasy dude. We got Wicks, Otten, Strepo, Thielen. I'm actually going to go with Thielen. Not retiring, still going to play, so Carolina doesn't have much besides him. So he's still technically the number 1 receiver for Carolina. Getting him with the 70th something receiver taken is solid. So now we're looking quarterback, receiver, tight end when it comes back to us, depending what's there for value. We got 6 picks left. Now we're in the deep woods of like the deep woods of drafts are tricky. I'm just looking for consistency and potential that you can hit someone, even if they get, a receiver who gets 25 points one week because he gets 2 or 3 touchdowns and then does nothing else for the whole season. That's the type of players you want late in your best ball draft. Bunch of tight ends rolled off here, which is pretty much in line with the value. Cam Ward, the site has Cam Ward ranked way too high as far as ADP goes. Haven't seen much out of Cam Ward that really impresses me. Same with Shador though. I think it's a really weak QB class, and the best quarterback in the end might end up being Jackson Dart down here. but we'll have to see. Jackson Dart reminds me of Burrow. He's got that tenacity, he's got that attitude, and he can run. Has to. And he's just is a solid quarterback. Cam Ward is more like a James Winston type player where he's going to make some really sick good throws, but then he's going to throw 3 or 4 interceptions a game with a pick 6. So not the best game manager. I would have liked to get Geno Smith there, maybe. That sucks that Geno just got taken. I think Geno's still got a little bit left to him. RG Harvey is a rookie I like a lot. He can catch passes. He's fast. He's shifty. I think Shador is just going to be a solid quarterback, but not crazy, not elite for sure. Comps-wise for Shador, I don't know. He's a tough one. Hunter Henry, Alec Pierce, Eric Ayomaner is a good pick here. Might want to go tight end. There's Shador. We could take him if we want. I'm probably going to take Stafford. To be honest here. Over Ayomaner or some of these other rookie receivers. So he took Shador right before me. So yeah, it's fine. We'll take Stafford. We'll get our second QB. Still some decent value late quarterbacks. Stafford, Carr. You know, people who have been banged up, but Russell Wilson has QB 32. Cousins is 33. Russ has still got some in him, you know. Devontae Williams is still out here too. That's a good pick. Same with Eckler. So he went Ayomaner, Fannin. Fannin's a good tight end too. We want another quarterback here? Probably not. We do need a tight end. Dalton Schultz is interesting. I don't really love him. Yoshi Voss is interesting. Jalen Royals, Jaden Higgins. I'm actually going to take Demario Douglas. Because until New England gets someone, he's kind of the number one there. We'll have to see when it comes back to us what's left for quarterback and tight end. Eckler comes off right after us. Not sure how much Eckler's got left in the tank. Same with Zach Ertz. Mason is an interesting pick there. He's a free agent, I believe. Same with Roshan Johnson, who gets if he could get a little more playing time, might put up some numbers. Like Roshan better in 1-point PPR formats, of course. Jalen Royals was who I maybe considered there instead of Demario Douglas. Same with Jaden Higgins. And the one guy I'm looking for, I don't see him on here. He's probably already taken. Jalen Noel. He is not taken. So I'm going to star him. We can kind of go through and star some guys we might be looking at. I mean, Rodgers at 34, Daniel Jones. Running back, who do we like? I mean, I do like Justice Hill, but more in PPR. Estime, Inez, Gibson, Tootin. I do like Tootin. Ty Johnson. We could just go all Buffalo backs. So Eckler, Yoshivash, Ertz, Mason, Johnson, Royals, Dalton Schultz, Beach, Chubb, Jaden Higgins. Receivers. Who do I like for receivers? No one. None of these are good. Alvin Austin. Trey Tucker, maybe. Ray May McLeod. Yeah, we're in Parker Washington. Jahan Dotson. Now we're in the really sketchy receiver range. So there goes Jackson Dart. Jalen Tolbert. Tavion Sanders. Pretty good value for where he's going. I think you might see more stats put up by him this year. Mostly because I think Bryce Young is going to have a good year this year. Noah Gray. Be a really good late pick if Kelsey retires. But if Kelsey does retire, they will draft tight end. They'll get Elijah Arroyo or Mason Taylor or somebody. Malik Washington, Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson's solid. DJ Giddens is another really late, interesting rookie. Tyler Higbee. So roster wise, I mean, I could use another tight end or QB. Do like me some Gesicki, but I also do like me some Chiggy. And Chiggy is still there, which is crazy. But I'm going to take Derek Carr here. Because he can give us some weeks. So we got Allen, Stafford, and Carr. An elite and 2 retirement home geriatric patients. Henry, Hook. Like our running backs a lot. Receivers are real shaky. Tight ends. We go tight end or receiver here. You like Gesicki if he's still there. It's a pretty solid value. He goes Miller, Marshawn Lloyd. Elijah Arroyo, Tez Johnson. We do got Gesicki, or we do got Chiggy. Chiggy had 87 points, but I expect more from him. Gesicki, just in that offense, he's gonna put up better numbers. Although I think Chig is a better pick, but we'll try out going Gesicki here. Gesicki might be better in 1 PPR formats instead of half point. Chig might have been better here, but who knows? Maybe Chig will come back to us. Now our roster construction is pretty rounded out. We only got, 2 picks left. So we just take the best available player. Yeah, this has been a longer draft than I thought it would be, but we can roll in and do another one. Why not? I got the time for it. Yeah, Chig went right after Seki. I probably should have stuck to my gut and took Chiggy there. I never really do great in the tournaments on Underdog. I usually do most of my grinding in the 12-man, 10-man leagues, which we'll do again this year. And kind of the tournaments will be they're always supplemental. Either hit it big or you kind of break even or lose in the tournaments. There is a chance you could hit big. I just like grinding out the 12-man, 10-man lobbies better. Top 3 payout in those, and it's basically your account funder, and then the tournaments are again supplemental. Justice Hill, Woody Marks, I don't even know who that is. Troy Franklin, Estime, Boudet. Like Booty too for this late. I think he's got some value in New England. Hopkins, again, this late is pretty solid. Sammy Brown. Eh. Green Hunt is solid again this late. Brenton Strange. Some people really like him. Not really sold on him. Savion Williams is like a Debo Samuel type player. Coming out of TU. Will Shipley, I see a lot of people taking, although he has got like 3 carries his entire career. But I guess if he plays at the end of the year when Philly rests everyone, then maybe it pays off. Damian Martinez would be an interesting pick if he's still there. Same with our Jalen Noel is still there. Nailers, interesting too. Julio McLaughlin is interesting. Deontay Johnson would be. Oh, Damian came off right before us. So there goes Russ too. We could have taken Russ there. I like some of these receivers like Trey Tucker a little better. Parker Washington. John Dotson. Antonio Gibson. Kirk Cousins is still out there too. Theo Johnson too. He's gotten some hype. He might make an improvement, so I'm gonna take Theo Johnson. I think he's a flyer pick at tight end. Could look to improve on his rookie season. A lot of people I've seen are into him, especially as a late round pick. Keaton Mitchell. Oh, we're back on the clock for our last selection. Gibson, Noel, Cousins. Do I really want to take Kirk Cousins here? I mean, I might have to. So let's take Jaleel McLaughlin. No one knows who Denver's running back will be this year. There's our team. Draft will almost be up and it'll show projections. We'll see how we stack up projection wise. Obviously quarterbacks I give our grade I think an A. And if you have Josh Allen, I think you get an automatic A. Especially in a 1 quarterback format. Running backs, Derrick Henry, James Cook, James Conner, Dowdle, Ray Davis, Jaleel McLaughlin. I mean, these 3 guys are going to get the most of our points, right? These other guys are flyers, so I'd say our running backs are maybe a B. Maybe they're higher than that. Um, Receiver wise, Neighbors, Sutton, Buka as our third, and Mooney, Coleman. They're all kind of grouped together. I mean, receivers get like a C. Nothing great. We're going on A, B, C. Definitely the weakest part of a roster. Tight ends, Njoku, likely. Gesicki, Theo Johnson. I'd give our tight ends a B. I think they're pretty solid. And maybe Njoku can stay healthy, put us up a really good year. I think can happen, and I think likely can break out too. Although we've kind of been saying that for maybe 1 or 2 years. A lot of the leagues I won last year, I had likely on my team. Because like week 1, he had like 40 points or something crazy. Yeah, I think the team's okay. Receivers bug me a little bit, but I didn't realize how fast the receivers would go on Underdog. So be solid. We will. This will be a longer video then. It'll be about an hour and a half, but we'll go ahead and we'll jump in and we'll do another quick draft in the same tournament. I see Mason Taylor, 35th tight end, going undrafted is a pretty interesting. I think he could end up being the best rookie. Same with Gunnar Helm. The tight end class is pretty strong this year. Yeah, I mean rookie wise, quarterbacks very weak. Running backs strong. Receivers very weak. Tight end strong. That's how it goes. Is this guy still? Yeah, this guy's still on the clock. Although I think it might have bugged out. Hey, look, you get bonus MLB coverage. Looks on my team. Roki Sasaki or Alvarez. We need a pitcher. Picking for a while again. I don't want to. Castillo's, Allen, Hunter Green. Maybe Hunter Green will improve this year. Base hit, which is tournament entry. We just took Adames. Skeens, Dylan Cease to Dames. Judge, Acuna, Rosarina. So we need infielder, pitcher. We have 2 pitchers. I do like Aaron Nola. Always like him. Infielders, CJ Abrams. He had a decent year in the last 2 years. Still a bunch of pitchers out, and we pick. Gotta wait a while. Pick, but we already got 2 good pitchers. We also take Bregman. Take Bregman. Nah, we might be able to get him. I don't know. Let's go with CJ Abrams. Scooble, Cease, Soto, Hernandez, Riley Green. So we don't have any infield. Colton Cowsers. Him Profar. Jose Altuve. Always kind of strong. Chris Sale would be a good pick as well. Junior Camarino, not sold on. Damos. Vientos, I'm taking like every. Just because. We don't have any Altuves yet. He's up there in age, but he's solid. Take Altuve. Alright, so. Here's our NFL draft. Projected for 2,905 points. Doesn't show the other teams they're projected. Guess it really. We can actually. So 2964 for that guy, 25.7, 3,000 for BB. He's got Murray, Prescott, Geno Smith, Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, Mixon. Benson, Metcalf, Burden, Ridley, Golden, Leggett, Tolbert. His receivers are trash. His tight ends are pretty trash, too. He's got good backs, but they're not all going to get points. Quarterback. 26, 28, 28, 20, 27, 29. We're up there for projection-wise. Built ourselves a solid roster. We go to drafts. We're going to go to the lobby. The little board. Let's just do another little board. Only $3. We'll do some big board, too, maybe. We'll see. This one is more filled up, so I just figured. Take my... Hopefully we pick in the front of the draft, because every draft I've been doing, same with MLB, like the 10 MLB slow drafts I'm doing, I'm picking like spots 8 through 12th in all of them. And it seems last year on Underdog, I was always picking 8 to 12. And then I do drafts on FPC, and I'm gotten 11th, 10th, and 12th. This one is going to fill. It's got a couple spots. Yeah, my FFPC best ball drafts, I've done 5. I've picked 11th, 11th, 10th, and 1st. It seems like I'm either 1st or in the back end, and we're 8th this time. So a couple of positions earlier than the last draft. Again, not in the first half at all, but more in the middle, so we'll see what we can get. We'll probably, again, lined up to get one of these receiver combinations of Nico, Collins, Puka, maybe CeeDee Lamb if someone falls, Amon-Ra, Thomas, Neighbors. We're out of that top running back tier. Then we come back in the second and get another receiver back. Might want to load up in receiver this time because the last draft, receiver class was our weakest position. And you need that extra one here. The site because of the 3 receiver, 1 flex. So we got Chase, Barkley, Bijan, Gibbs. No surprises there. In our last draft, someone took Brian Thomas, 6, which I wouldn't mind, because that would give us Lamb or Puka, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and this guy will take Puka. So we're left with a pretty tough decision on which way to go. We went Neighbors at the 11th last, or the... Where did we pick? I think we picked 11th. Puka, yep. We got Collins, Amon-Ra, Thomas, and Neighbors. They're all grouped together. Safest bet is Amon-Ra. We took Neighbors last time. Brian Thomas has got a ton of potential. But let's go with Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra's solid, never gets hurt. I do probably like Collins ahead of him in the rankings. Collins is more risky in my opinion. So Neighbors comes off next. And I thought about Brian Thomas there. Thomas would be one I maybe I should try a draft and take him because I'm getting a lot of Amon-Ra's and Collinses. Just based off where I'm picking. I do like Neighbors maybe better than Thomas. Thomas at 12th, pretty solid. Genty went way too high at 11. And the rookies get so much hype right now. That's why they're going way higher than they should be going. The Brian Thomas A Chain is interesting. I wouldn't have followed up with A Chain. At the 12, I would have maybe took Henry or Drake London or someone. Hopefully, maybe Drake London can fall to us here. Here goes AJ Brown. Like the combo of AJ Brown and Genty just is not seem good to me at all. Like it, even the Thomas A Chain combo is better. There's Drake London, Collins in London. I don't really want McCaffrey, although he can score a ton of points when he's healthy. Do love me some McConkey. There goes Henry. So we're faced with the choice of Brock Bowers, Jonathan Taylor. I do like Bucky too. Maybe we get Kyron Williams or someone coming back. Maybe we take Bowers here, McConkey. Let's take Bowers. It's right along with his ADP. I'm just not a fan of McCaffrey. I think last year was really telling that he couldn't really play at all. I wouldn't normally take a tight end that high unless it was premium, but I don't have Bowers in many drafts or dynasties or whatever, so get a piece of Bowers. Problem with taking the tight end there is you'll get a positional advantage over everyone else, but you're losing out so much value on these backs and receivers coming off. Like I wish I was picking more like 5th or 6th. And you could get someone like Justin Jefferson and Bucky Irving, or CeeDee Lamb and Bucky Irving, or anyone in Bucky Irving. I think Irving might end up being running back 1 or 2 this year, but we'll have to see. So now we're looking at, we don't want to go early quarterback again. I mean, out of these players, Mike Evans is the best. DJ Moore is okay. Smith and Jigba, Kyron Williams. There goes Chase Brown. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's going early in these drafts. Same with Hill. Like, none of these guys, like, some of these guys are going to be, Jigba, Harrison, Evans, they're all going to be better than Tyreek Hill. So there goes Smith and Jigba. So we're going maybe DJ Moore or Kyron Williams here. Maybe Mike Evans. So he took DJ Moore. So we don't have any running backs. So let's just go Kyron. We'll be able to come back and get another solid receiver here. Between Harrison, Evans, Worthy, Devonta. Or we could grab James Cook if he's still there again. I like Kyron Williams a lot. Maybe it's because I'm a Notre Dame fan, but he's had 3 really solid years. Other than getting hurt a little bit 1 year. He's a touchdown machine in an offense too. He'll get 8 to 10 plus touchdowns a year. He's a safer pick. Like Cook, Brown, Breece Hall, Bucky Irving are all a little more risky than Kyron. No quarterbacks yet. There's Lamar. This guy gonna go Lamar, Josh Allen back to back. No, Lamar, Zay Flowers. Actually, that's a good stack. Pretty smart on his part. We got a Monra, so we'll be looking to get Goff maybe. or Las Vegas. I mean, Las Vegas is probably, I don't know who's going to quarterback them. Russell Wilson or Shador probably. We can target one of those guys late, maybe. This guy's team is solid. Collins, Drake London, Jameson Williams, James Cook. Pretty solid team. Jared goes, Hurts. Hurts is going ahead of Josh Allen, huh? Probably going receiver here. Worthy is an interesting pick. Monte Smith is as well. I do like Jameson Williams, but he's gone. I do like Metcalf. It's in. I think DeMonte Smith will be better than Worthy. And I'm not a huge Tet McMillan guy. I think for rookie season he'll be okay, but wide receiver 25 as a rookie, maybe that's on par, but depends where he goes, you know. Yeah, Worthy comes off next. I almost took Worthy there. It was close. Depends what Rashee Rice does. What happens with him. Go Mixon. I guess we could have had Mixon there too, although I've ended up mixing in a few drafts already, so would hope to like the target next time through. Someone like Kenneth Walker, Addison, or Waddle. George Kittle will be gone by then. Probably, maybe we start Laporta. Worthy, Mixon, Tetra, Jaden Daniels, Chuba Hubbard, Rashee Rice. Like McLaurin, Hill, and Rashee Rice are very risky. That's what, in the last draft, that's what the guy in first did. Chase. Chase Higgins is interesting. Does he need Burrow? And yeah, he got Burrow too, so Burrow, he's got a good stack there. It looks like Higgins is going back to Cincy, so that team will be hard to beat. If the Bengals click, which, I mean, best offense in the league. So there goes Addison. Where do they have Goff rate? Some sites have Goff as high as like 7th or 8th. They have him 9th. Take around and pick 100. Goff. We can maybe get Goff in the 7th or 8th. Odunze, Metcalf, Vontae Adams. Here goes all the receivers. Probably want to grab another one here, honestly, unless we look at Kamara or Walker. I like Walker better than Kamara. And Waddle, not sure on Olave, but I guess at receiver 31, he's got some value. And I do like Sutton because Sutton is just solid. So there goes Kittle. And there goes Laporta. Back to back. Okay, so staying away from tight end here then. I would love to get Kenneth Walker, so this guy takes Waddle. So we will go Kenneth Walker here. Hopefully he can stay healthy. So we got Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker, Monra, Devonta Smith, and Brock Bauer. Overall, kind of solid. Olave. Yeah, Olave or Waddle would have been close there for me to take too. So now we got to come back maybe with another receiver. Any of these three, or unless Kamara is still out there. I think these three are way better than anything that's left out there. I love this guy a lot this year too. Ricky Pearsall. There goes Pickens. None of these guys there might be available. There goes Judkins. Judkins ahead of Travion Henderson, and Kamara is pretty wild. Although I do like Judkins a lot. David Montgomery, Jerry Jeudy. Montgomery ahead of Kamara is kind of crazy too. We might end up with Cortland Sutton again, 2 drafts in a row. Hampton. Again, Hampton ahead of Kamara is wild. Although I do think for like Dynasty, all these rookie running backs will be solid eventually. But Hampton's a workhorse for sure. It's just hard to pick him ahead of other players when you don't know where he's going to go yet. There goes Kamara. Good value there. And Sutton. We're left with Chris Godwin or some of these rookie backs. Or James Conner again, still out there. I think this will be a good spot for Godwin. He was on pace for some insane numbers last year. Hopefully he can recover from that. And who knows, he might not be in Tampa. I think best case scenario for him is he does end up staying in Tampa in that slot role. Because if he goes somewhere else like New England, he's going to be the #1 guy instead of being more of a slot guy. Pop Douglas will be the slot guy there. And that might hurt his value a little. But Godwin is one of those slot fiends. Same as like Jackson Smith and Jigba. Godwin. Who else is a slot fiend? McConkey. Monra and Puka Nakua to some extent. Slot fiend. Debo, solid value for where he's going, although his career it might be pretty much done. I'll have to see. Those shifty, fast receivers, once you lose a step, it's kind of really tough. And I think Debo has definitely lost a step. I do like Ayuk better than some of these guys that have gone before him. There's Ibuka. So in last draft, Ibuka fell to us here in this spot. A little early for some of these guys. There goes Hawkinson. I mean, we have Bowers. Okay. Jaden Reed. Reed could be a value. Bo Nix ahead of Mahomes is wild. We're going to wait for Goff, so we ain't worried about quarterback right now. Tyrone Tracy or Pollard would be interesting. But I feel like receivers, again, are getting thin. I think Jacoby Myers is the best bet of this group. You take a flyer on Pearsall. Who went? Tony Pollard, Ridley. Tracy, I'm not 100% sold on yet. Shakir has been pretty solid, but I'm going to take Jacoby Myers. He's been improving and having better numbers every single season. Here next. We got Amon-Ra, Devonta Smith, Chris Godwin, Myers. Nothing super jumps out receiver, but just pretty solid. Of course, Bowers. Bowers is going to need to carry us some weeks. Aaron Williams, Kenneth Walker. Probably maybe go running back here. Or this is probably the spot where we got to take Goff. Go with Amon-Ra. Or we could take Mayfield. Yeah, Goff is still out there. Taking Goff over Mahomes just seems wrong. Although Goff has been putting up better numbers than Mahomes the last 2 seasons. This guy Mayfield has been killing it though. We do have Godwin. We could hope he goes back with Mayfield. And Pearsall is still available too. Or Aaron Jones. Stevenson is gone. Boy, I kind of want to wait on quarterback. We go with Aaron Jones. Jake. Need running back help. We're going to go with Aaron Jones. It leaves us with Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones. I think this draft has been more solid than the last one, but overall projection point wise, I think will be a little. There goes Pearsall. Yeah, maybe Pearsall was a play there. There goes Pacheco, Jonnu Smith, Mahomes. Because Mahomes and Baker are still out there, maybe Goff will come back around to us. So there goes Baker. But if we don't get the Goff stack, I mean, we still get someone like Kyler Murray or Purdy, even Caleb. I think Murray and Purdy should be ahead of Caleb Williams, but Williams is definitely a more exciting pick than those two. And Herbert should be a little higher, too. I think I actually have Goff a little lower in my ranking. There goes 3 quarterbacks back-to-back. Mahomes, Mayfield, Purdy, Darnell Mooney. Dobbins. There goes Goff. See, this guy goes Goff and Purdy back to back. There goes our stack. We have 2 Raiders receivers, so try to get the Raiders quarterback, but we don't know who it is yet. DeAndre Swift is a good late pick. For Kupp, Michael Pittman. Steph Diggs is still out there. Would be a nice addition. We do Kyler or Caleb Williams. Well, I guess we should have took Goff or someone there because the whole run of quarterbacks happened. X Charbonnet. Solid value. Tyler Warren. We get our choice of quarterback. It ain't going to come around back to us. I'll go with Kyler. I like Kyler Murray more than most people do. He's actually my highest in my dynasty teams. He's the player I have the highest percentage of at like 33% of my team. Kyler. Najee Harris and Njoku. That's about where we got Njoku last time. Now we got Kyler, Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker Jones. We need more backs and receivers. And then we'll work on value. If we see value at quarterback or tight end. Well, for backups. Herbert, pretty solid value there. Probably wait a little bit and take someone like Stroud or someone else. Tight end wise, not loving these guys right here now. Maybe we take Colson Loveland or someone. If Caleb Williams is here, that might be an interesting choice. So Drake May goes ahead of Caleb, which I think is pretty accurate. What it should be. This whole middle group of quarterbacks from Mahomes through Caleb and all these guys, so 1, 2, 3, 4, like 8, 10 quarterbacks are all like the same. Steph Diggs I would have considered there, so he's gone, and then ETN is gone. So Caleb is still there. We could go Caleb Williams-Murray. We could go Bateman, who's just a fiend. Cam Scatabo, I don't really like that much. Keenan Allen. I'm actually gonna go Bateman here. Bateman had 9 touchdowns this year. 40 catches, 9 touchdowns. He is a best ball. Would have liked Diggs there. Yeah, Caleb comes off next. Maybe we should have took Caleb there. Let me know in the comments if you think taking the quarterbacks back to back is a smart move. I don't think so, but you might think it's solid. I'd rather have the receiver just because we're going to be really thinned out. Well, we already are thinned out in receivers and running backs. And between guys other than St. Brown, we don't have too much reliability per se at receiver. Jacoby Myers might be our second highest scoring receiver. We'll have to see. So there goes Williams, Prescott, Love, Herbert. So rounds 8 to 10 is just going to be the quarterback zone in these drafts. Maybe we come back and get our backup quarterback next pick. We'll see what's out there. Goes Tucker Kraft, J.J. McCarthy. A little bit of a reach there. Travis Kelce, Travis Hunter. I personally think Kelsey's retiring, but hard to tell. They gave him a deadline at some point in March, so they do want him to decide before the draft. That way they can draft a tight end if they. A rookie tight end with Mahomes could be a good fantasy year. So someone, like I said, they're probably targeting where they're drafting. I mean, it could be. It's not going to be Loveland or Warren. I think they will go ahead of them. Maybe Loveland falls to them, but they're probably looking at Fannin, Mason Taylor, or Elijah Arroyo. One of those three. Could have 3. Well, they could maybe even wait to the back of the second round and get Mason Taylor or someone, or Rondé Gadsden. I don't know, whoever they pick. There goes Stroud. Tyjae Spears might be an interesting pick here. I like him better than these couple of receivers. Trevor Lawrence would be a backup. I do like those guys. Bigsby, not super sold on yet. I'm gonna take the flyer. Maybe Bigsby's better than Spears, but I'll take Spears. I think Spears will get some more playing time. As our 4th running back, that's not bad. There goes Kincaid. We probably want to come back with a quarterback tight end here, depending who's available for receiver. This group of receivers I just don't like. Quentin Johnson maybe and Daubs are the best of this group, but we can wait later on and just get like Thielen or someone again. Trevor Lawrence or Tua. I think they're pretty close. I think I'd rather have 2. You could take Anthony Richardson. He might be a best ball warrior. There's Likely. I would consider Likely. Not a huge Goddard guy. I'd rather wait and take Ferguson, Pitts, Otten, Freiermuth as a backup for Evan Ingram. Christian Kirk might be a decent receiver. Hollywood Brown maybe got some left in him. He's just always hurt. Here goes all the tight ends. Want to go Hollywood Brown here, or do we want to go quarterback? He took Ferguson, so that's one of the tight ends I was hoping to get later on, but there goes all the tight ends now. I mean, Quentin Johnson is available too. Going in his third year. You know, let's take Quentin Johnson. So our receivers are St. Brown, Devonta Smith, Chris Godwin, Jacoby Myers, Rashad Bateman, Quentin Johnson. They're just solid. They aren't anything flashy. They're not horrible either. Solid. Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker, Jones. I mean, this draft might be better than the last one. I think it is. There goes Tua and Hollywood Brown. Both who I was. All right, we got 7 rounds left. Loveland. So tight ends come back. I do like Cade Otton a lot more than most people do. He had a quietly decent year. Another year working with Baker too. Maybe we target him or Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a value this late. I mean, he's been disappointing, but can't ignore the value when you get to tight end 18. I would have loved Ferguson maybe. Here goes Bryce Young. You still need a quarterback too. Romeo Dubes. And I'm probably going to take Justin Fields or Geno Smith, maybe. Lawrence is a huge value right now. He's still out there. Richardson would also be a value. One of those guys make it back to me. So Doubs, Rashad White. Richardson and Lawrence go back to back. Maybe we go Kyle Pitts here. Jalen Wright. Ward. Kyle Pitts right before us again. So now we're not in a good spot to take anyone. Best player is Cedric Tillman. We do need tight ends and quarterbacks, though. I could take Cade Otton. I could take Justin Fields. Tillman's the best player here by far. I'll take Cade Otton as our backup. Christian Kirk. Not sure how Kirk will bounce back this year. Could still be okay. Dylan Sampson. We gotten Sampson and a couple others. Xavier Restrepo. Restrepo's kind of an interesting receiver who could, by the time rookie drafts come out, he could be moving up the board. Him and Alec Aomayer are kind of the same player, and Aomayer's probably the third or fourth best receiver in the class, honestly. I think Restrepo will be a good value in rookie draft. It was Ray Davis. These guys all have badges here that say experienced, highly experienced. That's probably how many drafts. I don't have any badges because I've only played on Underdog for a year. Benson, Blake Corum. So we're dodging the quarterbacks. And I'm about 65% sure that Justin Fields is going to the Jets and will be their day one starter. I am going to. Well, Tillman is still out there. Gosh. Do I just wait on quarterback and then I end up with. Geno Smith is a better pick than Fields, but I might be able to get both of them. I'm going to take Fields. I mean, I think Fields will either be starting for the Jets or starting for the Steelers. And then I don't think Russ. I think Russ is going to Vegas. They're going to draft Genty. But that means probably Cam Ward to go to the Browns, Shador to the Giants, Russ to the Vegas. Maybe Pittsburgh signs Kirk Cousin to back up Fields. Yeah, quarterbacks are interesting this offseason. Yeah, Tillman taking Jordan Whittington ahead of Cedric Tillman is an absolute travesty. I mean, Dontavian Wicks and Thielen are still out there, and you take Jordan Whittington, who's had 3 catches last year. Eckler. We might be able to get Geno Smith, Fields, and Murray, which would put a nice round out to our quarterback room. Trevor Lawrence really fell in this draft. I'm surprised. A lot of people are still high on Lawrence. I got him in some dynasties. I think he can have a bounce back. He just got to stay healthy. He's still young. He's like 26. Got maybe 10 years left in front of him. He's taking a lot of shots, though. He might not last that long. There goes Ertz. They're looking at Geno here. Freemuth is a good value, too. I've had Garendo in a lot of drafts. I don't really want too much more of him. There's Alec Maynor. We'll take Geno here. We got Murray, Justin Fields, Geno Smith. Need at least one more running back and a tight end. Then kind of best value. Maybe another receiver too. There goes Wandale. Rondale Robinson is insane value in 15th too. Crazy. Adonai Mitchell would be a good flyer pick. Roshan Johnson, Javonte Williams. Can't believe he's running back 54. My boy RJ Harvey. DJ Giddens. Justice Hill. Wish he was better in PPR. Vermouth is still out there. Stafford, Douglas, Aiden Higgins. Jack Beach. I didn't know Wandale Robinson was still out there. Even Yoshi Voss is better than some of these rookies that are going. There's Javonte Williams would have been great there. I don't really like Correndo. Sean Johnson. Feels bad. I mean, Mason ain't going to be in San Fran, right? So Garendo's got to be their backup. But Furmuth is good value. I'm going to take Furmuth. Maybe I should have took Garendo there. But good news is our quarterbacks and tight ends are rounded out pretty nicely. Furmuth is just best available. I mean, again, if McCaffrey gets hurt, Mason ain't going to be there anymore, so it'd be Garendo backing him up. So that's where I think you get value in Garendo. Would have loved Javonte Williams there, though. It's alright, we can take some flyers now and some late backs and receivers. Yeah, there's no way Garendo was making it back to me. Now, I mean, Chubb is a value, maybe. I mean, clearly lost a step. Michael Wilson is solid. Hopkins still has some in him. Marshawn Lloyd would be an interesting one. RJ Harvey. There goes Chubb, Gray, Mason, A.D. Mitchell, S. Johnson. Tez Johnson's another late rookie, too, I kind of like a little bit. Sanders, Fannin. Woody Marks. Sicky. We're up next. RJ Harvey. You got Giddens, Justice Hill, Marshawn Lloyd, Michael Wilson, DeAndre Hopkins, Colbert, Dav Williams. Leading Tolbert or Hopkins here. Let's go with Tolbert. Just because Dallas doesn't have much besides Lamb. As your seventh receiver, I think Tolbert is perfectly fine. He'll put up 1 or 2 big weeks. Kind of need some running backs now. There's just nothing out there. So thin. Still might consider Hopkins. He just got taken. Boy Chiggy. We were lucky to get Smith and Fields and Furmuth, so I don't regret passing up receiver for many rounds. Wilson. Yeah, now you're just seeing best available. Come on. Marshawn Lloyd would be interesting here. But they have Josh Jacobs, who's the bell cow. Kareem Hunt would be. Gibson, Giddens, Russell Wilson, Davion Williams, Justice. I like Justice Hill a lot. Hill had 100 points this year. Let's take Justice Hill. He catches balls. I like him a lot better in PPR, but maybe the pick was Estime there, non PPR. Same with Damian Martinez. Damian Martinez could play a big role this year, depending where you draft to. He's kind of pro ready. Yeah, this video is gonna almost be 2 hours. It's crazy. These drafts went a lot slower than I thought they would. Sean Butte. Shard Smith. Theo Johnson is out there again. Gabe Davis did absolutely nothing this year. Jalen Noel. Got to take him in at least a couple drafts. Baishal Tootin, an interesting one as well. Jaleel McLaughlin, we took last one. None of these other guys I like too much. Sean Tucker, Imani Vidal, Johnson, Singleton. Take Jalen Noel, rookie. Rookie who had a really impressive Senior Bowl. Now I think I might be looking at Devin Singletary as a late round flyer. Because Tracy struggles. They might put Singletary in there because the team's going to suck. And why not wear out the old guy? Miles Sanders at running back 91 too is interesting. Ian Book, quarterback 40. Is Ian Book going to start for the Saints this year? Yeah, last round Theo Johnson is a great pick. Only upside there. No downside. Can only go up. Some players can only go up from what their numbers were last year. Noah Fant, 20th round pick, is also pretty solid. Johnson. Yeah, we'll take Singletary. He can put up points. But we'll see. All right. So that is that draft. Get bonus coverage. Actually, none of our MLB teams are due. See how we look projection wise. I mean, projected for 26, which is a lot lower than our last draft. But we had better quarterback. That ain't gonna matter. Comes to yeah, receivers have been tough so far. Maybe one of the next drafts we do, we just go all receivers. We put together a solid core, just not flashy. Bowers, maybe Bowers is a reach. We took him in line with ADP. Maybe that was a reach. But yeah, hey, thank you guys all for watching. Go through this last team quick. We got Murray, Fields, and Geno Smith. That's probably like a B to me, honestly. Murray's still a top 10 quarterback. Aaron Williams, Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones, IJ Spears, Justice Hill, Devin Singletary. I think I'd also give that a B if Walker stays healthy. If he doesn't, then Jones can cover his points, and maybe we get something out of Spears. So maybe it's like a B minus, but I just think it's a B. Monra, Devontae Smith, Godwin, Myers, Rashad Bateman, Quentin Johnson, Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Noel, probably about a C. Not horrible, just really average, really solid. Nothing's going to stand out. Monra is going to get his 20 points a game. Hopefully Smith could have a good year if AJ Brown gets traded, although I don't think that will happen now that they won the Super Bowl. And then tight ends, you got to give an A to Bowers, Ott, and Furmuth for sure. Really need Bowers to kind of carry this team. Thank you all for watching. It's been a fun night of drafting.